No, no, no. Hey, everybody, I'm Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute, and I have an amazing comedian, dating relationship coach, just an extremely funny and intelligent young lady. Kate Who is here. Kate Who is here. Kate, how
Hello.
are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Very
It's
good.
so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This is months in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Fan was on, and I asked him who his favorite comedians are that he liked, and he mentioned you.
Oh my God, he was too kind. Okay.
And that was probably 6 or 8 months ago. I've been tracking you down for 6 or 8 months.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, thanks for being persistent.
Well, because I think you're really talented. I think you're really funny,
Thank you. Thank you.
and I want to apologize up front because I don't know. I've never been to China, and I don't know a lot. I think there's misconceptions from the
Mm-hmm.
United States to people in China.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean the same the other way around, right?
Right. Well, and let's start from the beginning, Kate. You're in Hong Kong right now.
Yes.
Were you born and raised in Hong Kong?
No, I was born and raised in the mainland,
Okay.
the bigger China. Yeah.
Well, that and again, I don't know the difference.
Ah, okay. Okay. So Americans don't know what's going on with Hong Kong and the the main part of China.
Well, no, I mean, I'm pretty dumb. I'm dumb as a bucket of rocks.
Okay.
No,
Do you know about
in other
Taiwan?
words, and maybe you can help me because that's a lot of the stuff. I wrote down all this stuff because I
Okay,
try to
okay.
research as much as I can.
Oh wow,
Uh,
nice.
well, because you're coming on my show, I want to show some intelligence. I mean, in other words, I understand, like, for instance, TikTok isn't in China.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
have TikTok in China. And the conception I have of China is you can't say or can't do certain things, yet I watch your stuff and you say and do anything.
Okay, so yeah. So Hong Kong currently is more free. So yeah, that's the difference. In mainland and everything is more censored. Yeah.
Okay.
So Hong Kong is kind of like it's called the special administrative region. So it's not directly it is under the central government, but it's kind of different from the other Chinese cities. So the legislation here is a little bit different, but I mean it's kind of becoming the same. That's the trend.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, we do have a little bit more freedom as of expression.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, but it's still got limits. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, you push those limits.
Yeah, I pushed
I,
some limits.
well, let's just keep going here because I want to try it. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover. When did you start doing comedy? I know, in other words, we'll get into your dating and relationship
Yeah.
coach, and
Oh,
you've been on
okay.
TED,
Yeah.
you've been on TEDx, and you're an amazing
Uh-huh.
woman. Let's
Thank you.
start with when did you start doing comedy?
I started 4 years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
during COVID. Uh-huh.
And was there a catalyst? Was there something that said, Kate, let's start doing comedy?
I always loved watching comedy, but I really didn't know I didn't even know that there was comedy in Hong Kong. I was just basically I really I was watching a lot of comedy clips. I was watching a lot of Louis CK at that point. It
Okay.
was it was kind of a dark period of my life. So watching a
Well,
lot of
and,
Louis
and I'm going to
CK.
get to that as far as comedians you like and comedians.
Yeah, so yeah, and then I just like to I just memorize a lot of his jokes because it was just so good to me. And then I like to recite them, like redo them to my friends. And they just got so tired of me, And then and my friend one of my friends, she met someone
Okay.
who was also interested in doing comedy. And then she just introduced us, and that guy was like, I'm gonna go try this open mic. And I was like, oh, open mic, really? Oh, I thought, okay, I don't think I can do it. But then just a couple weeks later, he sent me a video. He actually went to do the open mic. I was like, oh my God, really? So I was like, okay, I gotta go watch this guy because this guy is just
You
so.
can mention him if you want. You can tell me who it is. You can mention his name if you want.
Oh, well, it's
Okay,
not.
no, I just wondered if you want to give props to anybody, like
Oh
I
yeah,
should
yeah, yeah.
mention Donnie Fan. Anybody you
Oh
want to
no,
tell me?
no, no, no. That's not Donnie Fan. Yeah,
No, no,
I
no.
don't know if this guy is still doing comedy. That's why
Okay,
maybe not. But basically, he started doing comedy, and for me, it was like, oh my God, someone I knew just went and
started it. Yeah.
doing comedy, and they everyone kept telling me, oh my God, Kate, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. I was like, oh no, no, I'm not funny. And then that guy was just like, no, you're super funny. Yeah,
You
and
are
then
funny.
basically they were just giving me a lot of these, validations. And then one day I was just like, okay, I'm gonna sign up next week. I just told everyone I'm gonna do this next week. And then asked two of my friends to come and see me. And I didn't know how to write jokes at that time, right? So I remember I was just I didn't sleep the night before. I was just, trying to
Kind of
to
like
write.
me last night.
Yeah, so I didn't sleep, and then I was I wrote some terrible jokes. I remember I was writing about my jokes were about Donald Trump, whatever. I don't even know why would I talk about Donald Trump, I think it was because I was just watching some other comedians talking about him, and I was kind of just imitating,
All
what
right.
they were. So I just wrote something just completely just weird ass shit. And then I went to the open mic. That whole day at work, I don't think I did any work that day. I just kept thinking about this shit. And right before the open mic, actually, and my boss actually asked me to work overtime for a little because there was a little accident at work, and I was so pissed at him. I was like, oh, just one day you gotta ask me to work overtime. Anyway, so I made it, and then and I think they put me the last on the lineup. So I had to wait the whole night. My two friends were there, and I just kept worrying about, oh my God, what am I gonna say? How am I gonna say it? And yeah, and they called my name. I just went up and I just told my stupid Donald Trump jokes, and only my friends laughed, I believe. So so yeah, so that was it. And at the end of it, I remember there was someone, some other audience, and then after I finished my set, and he was just like, yeah, that was good, for the first time.
Okay.
So basically, it wasn't good. It wasn't good, but and I knew it. No, no, no.
Yoga
Yeah.
pants queen. Yoga pants queen.
Oh yeah.
Are you wearing yoga pants now?
No.
Are you going to wear yoga pants to your wedding?
No. No, it's
I
just some.
I'm just teasing
Yeah.
you because I saw at least one explanation of why you wear yoga pants
Oh, okay. What was it?
on Instagram.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, the one that I said I wear yoga pants, so people everyone wants to fuck me. That one.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. You got it. I'm
No,
trying to set
so
you up here, young lady. I'm trying to
so
throw
it's
you
the
softballs.
thing. So the thing is, because I always wear yoga pants. I wear it because it's convenient, and because sometimes I go to yoga during the day. So
Okay.
I just can't be asked to change my outfit, for an open mic. So I always just will show up in yoga pants. And the host of that open mic, he always, he always tells this joke before he introduces me, which is, girls, you gotta chill out with those yoga pants. The only reason you wear yoga pants is because you wanna look fuckable or whatever. So he always tells this
Right,
joke.
right, right, right.
So yeah, so I figure I might as
Well,
well just link in to that
well,
to that joke.
before we started, I looked this morning and I looked and I did see one where you had a dress on that you didn't actually have yoga pants on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Usually the ones that I was wearing yoga pants, it was just one of those
I'm
open
sorry,
mic,
I'm being an
like.
idiot.
Yeah.
You'll get to know. We'll get be together here. You'll realize I'm an idiot. Um, you do in serious for a second, coach dating and relationship tips, which I find
Oh,
funny
yeah.
because your Instagram, my God.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't meet my clients at my comedy show. So
No, 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 I don't think so.
they'll get the wrong idea for sure.
No,
So
I don't.
yeah, maybe I think I have a split personality or something. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
can be
yeah.
serious. I can be, I can be inspiring. I can be spiritual, but
Well,
then I
that's
can
why
also be
I
very
said
dark.
you're not only funny, but you're extremely intelligent. You did a TEDx talk. I saw a Bloomberg thing. We were talking
Oh
about
yeah,
women in China and what it's like to be a woman in China.
yeah. My TED Talk was no, no, no.
No,
It
no, I
was
mean the Bloomberg thing I saw you just post.
oh.
Right, but
Oh
the
no no no!
TEDx.
That was me emceeing a menopause event.
All right, all right.
Yeah yeah.
But the TEDx talk, you want to talk about that? That
No
was on
the
relationships and dating.
no. That one was more about my journey of my childhood experience and how that led me to come to Hong Kong for education and start working in finance and then how I
All right.
from finance to comedy. That just the whole story. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Boy, I
Yeah.
got this all mixed up. I mean, I try to do my research, but there's just so much to cover. Um, so how about the dating and relationships? How do you how do you get clients? Do people just is that a business for
Right.
you?
Yeah, that's a business for me. So I just just meet people, usually just meet people and I have my, I have a community, so I would organize like, free events, workshops
All right.
um for women and then, and from these women then, sometimes there will be people who are interested
Well,
in
the
coaching.
reason I'm asking so much is because I need help.
Oh, really? Oh, you're single. But
There-
usually I work with women
There's
though.
no hope for me. I hired a life coach and they said, nah, nah,
Uh,
no, not
you
you,
you have
brother.
a life coach?
No, I don't have a, I need a life coach, a relationship coach. I need a breathing coach. I need comedians that inspired you. Mentioned Louis C.K. Do you have any
Mhm.
other comedians that inspired you? And then comedians that you like today?
Yeah, well, I think the first comedian I watched was Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
I watched his show in when I was in college,
Okay.
The Seinfeld show. And I think that was the first time I got to know, oh, this is comedy. Because
Okay.
I remember I went on I did a summer exchange program in UK when I was in college, maybe second year of my college. And I remember we were trying to a couple friends, a couple friends of mine were trying to find a show to see. And I remember seeing comedy show and then I was like, what's that about? I was wondering what that was about. I
Wow.
didn't even know what that was. And yeah, I remember we went to see a musical, went to see Mamma Mia. So, so I completely did not know what that was. But then later on, I watched the Seinfeld show, and then I was like, oh my God, this guy, he made me laugh. Like he talks about these like random
Right.
mini
Right.
things in life, and then he makes it kind of funny.
Right.
And then I think I started and then I think Louis C.K.'s got a very similar show. It's called
Right.
Louis, kind of like Seinfeld.
Right.
So yeah, just one thing up led to another. I just watched that show. I was like, oh my God, this guy is so funny. It's like
Okay.
insanely funny because Jerry Seinfeld, he talks about those things, the things he talks about are more general, right? But the thing
I'm a big fan of Jerry Seinfeld.
yeah, he's a very funny guy for sure. But for me, Louis C.K., the stuff that he talks about like the really dark side of
Yeah.
himself, like, the dark thoughts and, like the very human part that he
Yeah.
doesn't want, but it's just there. That
Okay.
those very intrusive sexual thoughts or,
Yeah.
just anything else that just that you want to hide from people that you don't want them to come up, those kind of things.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, that's something that I resonate with so much. I was like, and you can make these things
In a
funny.
word, Kate, I think it would be unfiltered.
yeah, the
And
unfiltered.
that's the way you, that's not to interrupt, but that's the way you are on stage, at least the clips I see on Instagram. You're unfiltered.
Yeah, and
You will
also
talk
very.
about brown people, pegging, anything. I mean, you name it. I've heard it all
Oh,
from you.
did I talk about pegging? I talk about pegging, but I don't think I've posted a clip.
Yeah, talk about pegging.
I did, but
Hey,
I didn't.
Kate,
I haven't
I'm
posted the
62
clip yet,
years old, by the way, and pegging
so.
scares the hell out of me. You scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, anyway, so and it was the fact that he's very like Louis CK, his jokes are very introspective, like
Yeah, yeah.
you can see that he's a deep thinker. And I'm a deep thinker, that's why
I know. I told you you're scaring
I do
me.
all this coaching thing, right? So I found these two things to be like the two sides of me. One is like the more spiritual
Yeah.
side. Now the other one is like, it's like the darker human side.
So, are there other than Jerry Seinfeld, Louis C.K., are there comedians nowadays that you like, or do you watch a lot of comedy now? Do you watch any comedy now?
Yeah, yeah. Now, there are so many, I think there's like a whole new generation of comedians now. I remember when I just started watching comedy, it was, it was Nikki, well, what's the name of that girl? Nikki
Nikki
Glazer.
Glazer,
Yeah, Nikki Glazer, Whitney Cummings, that
right?
was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
probably
Sure.
8, 9 years ago. And now, I
Oh,
with
yeah, yeah.
Instagram, there are just so many new comedians, and and you just sometimes I just click on, I just see a random video on Instagram, and it's like super funny, and click on the profile, and they've got like 500,000 followers, and I've never heard of them. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I can relate.
yeah,
Yeah,
especially on
go ahead. I'm
in
sorry.
US. Okay? Yeah,
No, no,
especially
keep
in
going. I'm
the
sorry.
US. I mean, especially in the US, the industry is like really booming. There's so many, comedians, and a
Well,
lot of them are funny. Yeah.
that is something I have at the end here, but we'll move to it. Do you have, first off, you mentioned the UK. Have you been to the United States, or do you have any desire to come to the United States?
Oh, actually, we're going to LA next week,
Oh,
actually.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna stay there for 2 weeks, and we lined up a couple of sh shows. I don't know if I should I say this because I don't have a performer's visa.
But you know what? I'll give you good news. This won't go on the air for about 3 weeks, so you'll be in good shape.
What's that?
No, in other words, I
Oh,
record
okay, yeah.
this, and
Okay.
I'm 2 3 weeks out, but I'll hold it. You
Okay.
and I'll talk.
Thank
I
God.
won't put anything up without your approval.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
no, no, no. But I mean, had you been to the United States before?
Yeah, I went there, I think 2023. Yeah, 2023. That was the first time I went to US.
Okay,
Yeah. I never, yeah,
but so
I
now you're
never,
coming back and get the follow up question, Kate. Would you like to come here and tour in the United States at some point?
wait. Oh, that's my dream. I'd love
That's what
to,
I'm
because
asking.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
just so much more opportunity to do comedy in US, and here in Hong Kong, the market's just so small. And I consider doing Mandarin, I consider focusing more on Mandarin for a while, because now in the mainland of China, pe actually comedy is booming in China, mainland China, right? The Mandarin comedy, but they
Okay.
have a lot of restrictions. You can't talk about
Well,
this, you
that
can't talk about that. And then my comedy style, I can't do that.
right.
So
Well, and for some reason
yeah,
you're playing right into my hand here because I have all the clips on Instagram are in English, and I wondered about that as far as,
mhm.
are there shows that you do in Chinese or.
I started doing Mandarin only end of last year, because before in Hong Kong, there was not, because my native language is Mandarin, and
All
the
right.
main language in Hong Kong is Cantonese. So I don't really speak Cantonese that well. And before Mandarin open mics only started maybe 2 years ago in Hong Kong. So there
Okay.
wasn't
All right.
there wasn't any Mandarin mic when I just started doing comedy. So I just started in English,
Okay.
and I always also because I started watching the comedians that I watched were all like Americans or whatever. So I think I understood that kind of humor more.
Right.
And when Mandarin comedy was starting to get popular in China, uh I I couldn't get some of their jokes because like it just, jokes are super comedy is like very language and culture specific. So it
That's
just
yeah.
took me a while to get started in Mandarin. And some of my jokes still don't work when I
Don't hit.
translate
Yeah, don't hit.
Mandarin. Yeah,
Right.
so now basically I had to rewrite a lot of I have to just, write a lot of new jokes just
Right.
for Mandarin shows. But it's nice. I still like doing it. I still like doing it, uh, but in Hong Kong, there's also just not so much.
Right.
Actually, I can do clean. Like the Mandarin stuff that I do now, mostly clean. But it's more about their tolerance level
Yeah.
for like sarcastic humor because they're very, because I like to. I don't just do the dirty stuff. Actually, most of my stuff are not dirty, I would argue, but I'm very sarcastic. And I like to, if
Go
I'm
ahead.
performing
Go ahead.
in
Go ahead
front
and
of
do a couple for me. Do them with me. Say something funny about me.
Well, you don't if I'm doing a show for white people, I see a lot of white people, then I just like to make fun of them,
I know
I just
you do.
yeah, yeah, and if I perform in front of, Chinese people and I just like to make fun of some Chinese people, I feel like that's for me
Brown
that's
people. Brown people.
yeah, brown people for sure. Yeah, that's I feel like that's
But I
my
think
where
you
my
have a
sense of
brown
humor.
boyfriend, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, my boyfriend is brown, yeah, which
Yeah.
is
I mean, it just there's
everybody's
no.
saying I talk too much about him in my comedy. It's all about your brown boyfriend. Okay.
What about white people? What do you think about me?
Just white people. Okay,
Well, what do you
yeah.
think about
I
me
mean,
so far? What's your impression of me so far?
like, just
Go
right off.
ahead. Just don't hold back. I told you, say it. What do you think so far?
Okay.
What are we 20 minutes in, half hour in? What do you think?
Yeah. I don't know, just right off the bat. I know you're not, but I wouldn't be too surprised if you own one or two, MAGA hats or something. Just like
MAGA
I would
hats.
just the whole
No, no,
just
no,
the
no. A
yeah.
favorite show. You've been doing comedy 4 years. Favorite show you've done so far.
Favorite
Then the
show?
follow-up question is least favorite show where it didn't go so good.
Oh wow. Okay. My favorite show. There was this show that I just did a couple weeks ago. It was like a all women show, and it was like we got mostly women and some gay guys. Oh, that was just the best show, and people were drunk, and oh, I killed, and they love all the dirty bits. I was like, yes, this
This
is
is
where
my
all
crowd. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that one was really
Your
good. Yeah,
favorite show.
yeah.
Okay,
That
now
was
give
the
me
best.
one where it didn't go so good.
What's that?
Now give me one where it didn't go so good.
Um,
In other
didn't go
words,
good.
you favorite and then least favorite where, like
There was this show. I mean, for me, I kind, no matter how bad the show is, I still kind of enjoy it a little
yeah, I
bit.
think you have fun
Like,
regardless.
yeah, I still enjoy a little bit. So there was this show, this Mandarin show that I just did. Also, I just did maybe 2 weeks ago,
Right?
and it was an afternoon show. Afternoon
Oh,
show.
yeah, like
Yeah, I don't
9 in
know
the
why.
morning.
I don't know why they would do that. I guess the
Yeah.
Mandarin is they don't stay up late, so they so I was talking about my Indian boyfriend, and then there's this lady sitting just right next to the stage, and then she was talking to me. She was like very special. And I was like, special? What do you mean? It's like, I mean, you're very special. I said, oh, is it about my Indian boyfriend? She said, yeah. I said, oh, do you have anything to say about me having Indian boyfriend? And then she's like, I mean, I think love is borderless. So she's saying now, so okay, so if you have so I said, so I was trying to do crowd work with her. So, and this is where you can see how sometimes I mess up with I mess up in Mandarin shows because I don't know their limits. So I said, okay, so if you have a daughter and she's dating an Indian guy.
I get
So
it.
how's that gonna make you feel? And then she's like, and she said to me, I really don't like black.
Oh my, Kate, we're gonna get in
Black, the
trouble.
black. And the funny thing is, only black was in English. She said the rest in Chinese. I really don't
Okay.
like black.
Kate, I gotta move on. You're gonna get me in trouble. You get me canceled here in the United States. I can't talk about that. I cannot talk about it.
That was totally her opinion. I was like,
I
okay,
I understand, Kate. You're gonna get me in trouble. Look, I got to do one last thing, and then we're gonna get to your comedy minute. I do want to mention Donnie Fan again because
okay.
Donnie set this up, and it took me a long time to try to get you on here, and I couldn't be more grateful because, and I'm being serious. I'm only ever serious for a minute or two, but I try to have people from all over the world, men, women. I've even had a duck on the show. Okay, I don't care because I try to show the diversity, and I'm so grateful and thankful that you gave me some of your time and you came on my show today. I mean that from the
Yeah,
bottom of
thanks
my heart.
for inviting me. Yeah.
But I want to thank Donnie. I know you were just one of the videos. You were just at his club. I'm in my club. So,
Oh, that was a couple months ago.
oh,
That was January. Yeah.
okay. Kate, I'm just trying to do some sucking up. Can you, when you talk to Donnie, say Scott said thank you. Um,
Don is a nice, very, very, very funny guy.
Good, yeah. Well, and he's an amazing guy. He's a lot of funny
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But look, before we go, I would love if you could. Again, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Whatever you want to say, Kate,
Yeah.
who your comedy minute? Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell a true story, okay?
Okay,
It's not one of my jokes.
it's all
But
right.
as a comedian, I tend to, I am a little bit narcissistic sometimes and
Right.
ADHD, autistic, all that stuff. So sometimes I'm
Okay.
just very immersed in my own world and then I had, have very little surrounding awareness. So this one time I was at this open mic and then there was this Shanghainese girl. No, a girl from Shanghai, and she did a set, a 5 minute set there, and she seemed really
Okay.
new. She seemed very new, right? And then I talked to her afterwards, and then she was saying that she lives in Shanghai, and then and we just started talking about mainland stuff, and I was like, oh, I just got on this mainland social media. It's called Red Note. It's the Chinese Instagram, right?
Right.
And and I was telling her, oh my God, you don't know, like I feel like it's so good. Like I just posted a couple videos and now I have like 200 followers. And for me, that was really good because
Right.
it was growing faster than my Instagram. And
Right.
then I was giving her tips. I was like, yeah, this is what I did. I just posted these kind of videos with these captions, and then
Right.
it totally worked. Went from 50 followers to 200 followers in a week. And then she was just listening. Okay, okay, okay. And then I was like, oh, do you have Red Note? Maybe maybe I asked her, maybe you can follow me, right? So she's like, yeah, sure. And then she gave me her Red Note, and I searched it. She's got 150K followers. She's a full-blown influencer. Can you
And
imagine what she was
you're
thinking?
sitting there
Yeah, I
going.
was like, yeah, this is how I went from 50 followers to 200 followers. And follow me.
She said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, and with she was very nice to follow back. And then
Yeah.
I texted her, I was like, so nice meeting you. I was so embarrassed by myself.
Yeah.
And she got back to me like a week later. She said, oh, I'm sorry, I just have too many followers messaging
Yeah.
me on Reddit, so sometimes I don't get to all the messages.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, thank you again
Yeah.
from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate you coming on my show.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Scott. I
If you had a
really enjoyed
good
it
if you
too.
had a good time, I want you to come back, okay?
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right.